and welcome to another video from saleswork.com. In this video we shall be looking at the Lian Li's PC-B25F aluminium case. So as with most Lian Li cases, this case predominantly features a lot of aluminium, if not totally aluminium. We shall be looking at that. Now the box comes nicely printed. If you're picking this up at the stores, this is what they come as. Now I shall take it out of the box. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so that's the case out of the box. As mentioned earlier, predominantly practically every panel that you can touch is brushed aluminium. Now let's start with the front face over here. There is two 5 1/4 bay, third one which also doubles as a 3 1/4 inch bay. And what's famous about this case is that big blue circle. A lot of humor goes around the big circle light with the Xbox red ring and blue ring thing on. So but in this case it's not a bad thing. In fact, I think it's quite different from most other cases. Now speaking more about the front panel, it is really easily removable. All you have to do is just pull and they come off. Now from the side comes a cable over here that powers the light. We shall be looking at that shortly. The entire panel is aluminium, brushed aluminium, and it's quite sturdy. Not like most other face panel of other cases that's made with plastic and metal. Hence they are structurally not that strong. In this case it is quite strong, although very light. It feels very light. Furthermore, there are obviously two fans, both filtered, and the filters, they come out quite easily. You can give them a wash and then put them back on. These are each 120 millimeter fan, and you can set them for either intake or outtake, but most people would be using it as intake. These covers are removed very easily as well. Just press and pull. Conversely, if you want to put it back, just slide it in. And there is the snap. There we go. However, the last one, there's screws involved, depending on what you want to do with that. Now, let us put that back in. And we shall look at what's going on at the top of the case. And how to put it back, just easy as cake. Okay, the top panel. Over here we have a eSATA port, two USB 2 port, microphone, headphone, and then reset button and a power button. Now this power button has a good feel to it. It doesn't go very deep, but it's there we go. More so, the entire top panel, as we'd expect, is aluminium, and to open it, just hold, lift, and it comes off. It comes totally off, and it's fairly good quality build. Let's see, if I bring it closer, the panel, there's no the bad edges or anything like that. Everything is built properly. Even the this lock over here that snaps into place. Has a good feel to it. Not very, although this one is plastic, the frame holding it is metal. This one might be steel or aluminium, I'm not entirely sure, but they say it's all aluminium case, so yeah, it probably is. There's a bit of plastic over here, the front bit over here that has the logo to it, but nonetheless the panel itself is pretty good. Now the fans comes with 240 millimeter fan mounted on top. These obviously you can change as you wish to do either intake or outtake exhaust. And overall over here there's no unfinished edges or anything like that. It's smooth, nice feeling edges. There isn't anything protruding or anything like that. So and to put it back on, as always, done. It's really that simple. However, a little note, when I was moving the case a little while ago, just to have a look, see, this is too easy to come off. So if you're gonna lift it like that, you might want to care that if much force is placed on the top panel, it'll come off. It is really that easy to come off. Other than that, the quality is something that we cannot question. It's really nice. Now we shall look at the rear end. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, now the rear side. There isn't too many things that's out of the ordinary. Let's start from the top. First thing we see is a exhaust fan, or if you want, you can set it up as intake as well. This grill is actually screwed on, not like most other cases where the case is cut. And over here goes the motherboard's I/O shield. There are 8 PCI slots. That's the place for the power supply to go in. Although you see the screw holes over here, there is an alternative mounting system which we shall be looking at. And furthermore, they say it's tool free, which it is. The panels are locked in with thumb screws. And of course the holes for the liquid cooling tubing, these are rubber grommets. As I just showed, it comes off pretty easily and goes back in place pretty easily as well. There we go. And that's about it at the back. Now let's have a look at the panels. Okay, so I've taken out both the panels, both right and left side. I'll quickly talk about the panels themselves. Full aluminium panel, very light for most of the panels, steel panel comparatively, but they are sturdy. They don't wobble or anything like that. Furthermore, one little thing that I needed to mention was that the right panel can be locked with a padlock maybe. So if you're like going places, you might want to lock it in, or for whatever reason, it's a little added security feature. Same with the left side panel, right side panel as well. Sturdy panels, aluminium construction. Now I'll quickly talk about the back or reverse side. We can see over here there's a pretty big cut for the motherboard's retention plate to be installed and so forth, so you can access it from the back. There's holes for your cable management as well, though not so many you know, the grooves they used to have, or they have with other cases where you can run a cable tie through, perhaps through these holes, but not, they didn't go out of the way to actually provide places where you can tie in cable ties. But you know, I'm just being picky over here. They did provide the places through which you can run the cables, and plenty of room at the back of the hard drive cage over here as well for the cables to pass through, and obviously for the power supply as well, which will be sitting at the bottom over here. We shall be looking at that. So you can have pretty much all of your cable running from bottom to top from behind. Now, the business end. Let's begin with the number of fans and connectors. The front fans. Okay, this here is the light for the power, and comes with a Molex bypass, or you can just plug it into your motherboard. So this cable can be disconnected. Now, this is a different sort of a feature. Normally cases don't have, they just have the header that goes into the motherboard. The fans as well, they come with a Molex bypass or a 3-pin connector over here. I didn't untie the cable, they come out a little bit longer. Same with the, no, not same, rear one just has the 3-pin, it doesn't have a Molex bypass. Same with the top ones as well. Where's the other one? There we go. Over here, they all have 3-pin connectors. So 3-pin, 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 and 2 Molex bypasses over here. So in total, 5 fan connectors over here. And now the other cables. Obviously, the top SATA eSATA port needs to be connected to your SATA port of your motherboard, and the cable seems to be pretty long. And the usual audio and USB headers, and the regular fashioned, you know, power LED, reset switch, power switch, and what's this one? HDD LED, of course. There's nothing extraordinary over here. Now, the next thing to talk about is the, what should we talk about? Okay. The DVD-ROM drives, or DVD-RW, Blu-ray, whatever, 5¼ inch drives, they fit in tool-free, like so. There's this little latch that comes out, and then you can pop it back in, it locks it in place. The bottom one, there are thumb screws which will lock in the device that you are installing. Now the cage in itself can be unmounted. There's 1 thumb screw over here, 2 over here. Now I'll unmount the what do we say? The hard drive cage. Give me 1 second. I'll undo that. Okay. So the screws have been undone. All you have to do is pull. There we go, that comes out. Now at the back there's similar locking mechanism as the top panel and the front panel has. And by the feel of it, it's this cage is aluminium as well. Now here's the thing. This is entirely one single body. You know, you can't have it, you know, half and half. So if you have a graphics card longer than 290mm, or for any reason you need more than 290mm, you might want to remove this cage, but the entire cage is removed, which can be an issue. Now the next thing we are going to be looking at is how to mount the hard drive. For that, I'll have to grab a hard drive. Okay, in order to install the hard drive, I had to put my hand into the accessories box that they provided. Obviously, there's this special kind of screw that is provided. Let's have a closer look. Now, in the screw, There's some threaded area and then some plain area. Now they also provide these vibration dampening rubber thing or the other that goes into the screw like so. So we have the screw, the vibration dampening, and the thread. Now the thread bit obviously goes into the hard drive. So you have to do 4 each for each hard drive. They provide plenty of screws, so you won't run out. So let me install it and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, after installing the screws, like so, 4 screws, your hard drive obviously looks like so. Now the cage. Oh, before we proceed, that's the amount of screws they actually provide, so there's plenty that you won't run out. On the side of the cage there's this thumb screw, and see, that's what happens. Like, you tighten it, it locks in, drop it, you can slide your drive in. Now let me push the drive in. Say you select your bay and then slide it in. I can hear the rubber sliding. So the screw actually doesn't touch the metal. It's actually the that vibration dampening rubber thing that we put into the screws. That's what's actually touching the cage. And of course, once you put that in, pull it upwards, lock it in. So now the cage has the drive. Obviously you can do this like without taking out the cage. I've taken out the cage just for the heck of it, but that's how you install a hard drive onto the cage. It's reasonably easy process, no tools needed thus far. And I like the idea of this locking up, so the hard drives are held quite securely. It's if you're traveling and things are shaking, well, you wouldn't be shaking it like this obviously, but pretty secure. That's my point here. I'll put the cage back in and we'll proceed to the other sections of the case.